Hello and welcome everyone to the 418th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, February 2nd, 2022. Sorry, that should be February 3rd, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today once again with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, who will be presenting today's workshop. Once again here, Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin?
Yes. Good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever and wherever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, ensuring knowledge of space and knowledge of man, and see where the two can meet, that some of us and then all of us be educated to that knowledge, that we all become the same. I asked this intro, as Rick suggested, to be played this morning because we're trying to get to the point of bringing a lot of closure to a lot of teachings of the past, that we can start a new cycle. In the intro, we hear very clearly that we have taught the knowledge of the space technology. If the man decides to travel with a spacecraft called UFO, because then he thinks he's become the man of the space, then you have the option. This is mainly what has been open to most of the universal community. Flight, but containing soul, but containing physicality. And that has been. That's why you always look into the sky to see if you see a UFO, or I've seen it, or other things which are centuries, thousands of years been drawn on the caves and everywhere else. UFOs is not the first thing. We are not the first generation we're talking about. This has been the knowledge of the universe. Now, the teaching about another craft which can be created using the universal technology. Now, the universe's technology is the understanding of the operation of the soul, working like a plasma. In the UFOs, in the structure of the aeroplane, you have no difference. It's the same thing, carrying masses faster to different positions. We used to do it with a donkey. We managed to build a car. Now we have aircrafts. Now we have jumbo jets. And now we got the rocket. And then the next step, these all have been using fuel from the environment. Fuel from what we could get something to do with. Feed the donkey, get the motion, move your thing. Put the fuel in the tank, get the car driven. Put rocket fuel and burn it, and it goes. And then now we are looking for a new fuel that we can put in the reactor, build something called a UFO, and get to the next position, next destination. But this system is much faster, has a protection. And this shows that the knowledge of the physical side of the races in the universe has not done much more than mankind. Has not achieved much more except a system which now can go faster. We went from the donkey to rocket propulsion. We managed to get a bit more out of it. Then next step to us is spaceship, where we introduce a new fuel, plasma technology. But this, if you see the people with the UFOs, it means they are more or less in the same understanding as man, a little bit more of position. But the teaching we do with this has been on matter-field condition connection. The teaching of the soul is the way the universe works, not machinery. You cannot land on the surface of the sun. You cannot land on the surface of a star because it's a plasma. It creates its own dimension. It creates its own entity. It creates his own dimension of interaction. It's the same with the soul of the man. He has his own identity, doesn't need the physical body of the man, or a donkey, or a cat, or a tree. So when we are coming to the point of maturity of the man, you are looking, oh, I have a motorbike at home. When I have money, I buy a car. And then you have a car. When I have money, I buy a plane. And now the human race is there. When we have the knowledge, we have the UFO. Or a flying object, which has been a mystery to us. So we are behind the neighbor who had the money before and bought the car. And we are behind the neighbor of the neighbor who had the money and bought the plane. But this time we are behind the universal community trying to get that better car movement. We call it the UFO. This is all matter state conditional transportation. Now, you realize what we've been teaching in past year or 2 years is a vehicle without a body. But you can reduce the strength of the sun fields, the plasma, and create Earth with it. You can create Mars with it. You can create anything you like with it. And this is the gift. This is the knowledge. This is the technology which we've been concentrating for you to understand. And when I tell you, when we teach not only for the man, but for the universal community, they are learning that the time has come to leave the UFO. We are getting educated, like the humans, to move to the next level of understanding without engagement, not bird in the box that we carry it. We call it a bird in a cage, man in the car, universal community in the UFO. So this is what is important for us now that we're completing the education of man for the manifestation, the creation of Mehdi, for you to understand where you're going for. It's not anymore, give me another object to travel. You have the system inside you. It's the part of the way the universe works. Universe does not make cars. Universe does not make jumbo jets. Universe does not. It uses the fields within it to achieve what it needs, the position and what we call its attribute. When we speak about the upcoming of Mehdi, declaration of man understanding is that Mehdi, of the work of the creation, how the universe works. And when you reach that point of the maturity, do you need the UFO? This is where the teaching of the Keshe Foundation is. You thought we were teaching you about the soul, but we are teaching the universal community the same. They're listening, they understand that now even them are getting taught to get out of the UFO. There is another option. I said, when I finish teaching, man will be equal to the others, but the universe now learns from the voice of the man, the knowledge of the creator through understanding of the work of the plasma. This is part of what we are here for and what we are doing. And the next system for us to see how to travel without the physicality of the spaceship or aircraft is in between two, to gain the trust in the soul and at the same time being the physical. We're giving you the enhancement flight unit. But in a way, that's the step for elevation of the soul of the man to be able to become free. In the space reactors, which are developed and getting manufactured now for the enhancement unit, vision enhancement unit, or flight enhancement unit, we have accommodated all conditions. You want to fly in the dimension of the soul, the system is set for it. You want to be in the both dimension of physicality and the soul is done for it. If you want to be in the dimension of the physicality, it's built into the system. Many of you, even I just saw in the intro, you're expecting the flight to be on the 6th of June. We are already testing. We have already have the first results of development of the technology for landing and taking off. We know the system works. Now, we are not waiting for the 6th of June to do the test. We are assembling, we are testing, already going to manufacturing of the reactors. The testing has already started. It's not that we're going to put the system 6th of June in, how, voila, we're going to the moon, we're going to test it. It's not on the, what I call, okay, kind of all that you have a rocket and everybody sees when it goes up, when it comes down, or it crashes. Because that's the only time they can test, every time they test in public. Because of the advancement of the technology, we are testing in the labs. We are testing with the people who sit, how they behave, how the system changes their emotion. So if you're waiting to see the flight on the 6th of June, the first flight, we have already started the tests. The systems are getting built. The body is getting completed in China. When it arrives in Europe, sometime in February, March, we put in the system in it. The minute the system goes in, test has started. March, April, May, June. Even though, without you knowing, the flight test conditions, which we understand now, started in the exhibition center a year ago in Linz. The systems went operational. So we've seen it, we understand it. It's within us and around us, and we learn more. Our target, 6th of June, is to complete, but you will come to understand the way the Keshe Foundation has worked over years. You're going to be debriefed in a very soft way, gentle way, what happened in the test, what happened the next. What is the next condition? There is a secret within the Keshe Foundation management team on the top of the structure of the Keshe Foundation, which maybe is time for you to understand how advanced the technology is. Because now we can show you, we have measured it, we know it. We know the system works. I hope with the permission of our colleagues in the Keshe Foundation, we can open this door, as I said, slowly for you to see, to understand. You've seen, Rick, can you put the picture of the two enhancement unit in Linz, please? You've seen two units. These two units were manufactured in China together, were brought into Linz. It took 2 or 3 months, the team of the Keshe Foundation, who understood, worked on it, and tried to put the electronics and computer control into it to put it together. We had our specialists with the computers coming to Austria, sitting with a laptop, trying to monitor, follow the system. Rick, can you hear me? Can you put the 2 pictures of the enhancement center in Austria if you have it?
Do you mean the pictures of your older reactors or of the newer spaceship?
The new spaceship, we had pictures downstairs and upstairs. The one in downstairs, the latest one. When we brought these units into Austria, we realized no computer system works. We brought our specialists who could track it on a computer. Stanley came and sat on the machine, monitoring, trying to understand. We found out that the one downstairs, please, yeah, next to this. We found out that we are overriding with the plasma, the technology, the one, that's the one, yeah. There's 2 of them. You have a picture of the 2 next to each other. By the way, I released you a new picture where you see at the bottom there. I'll send you a picture, Rick, that you can display. If I get to it, Uh, we have a problem with our internet this week.
Not sure if I have the other picture you're referring to.
The two of them next to each other, the same place downstairs. What we found out and what we saw is, I'm sending it to you because my bandwidth today is absolutely diabolical. We have a problem with our internet system. When we brought these two systems together in Linz, we weighed them. The systems have equal number of reactors. The system have more or less everything else except with chair, which in the other one we have the matter production. And they all weighed around about 950 kilogram to a ton. In Linz, we set the system to work. If you remember, we explained that in one of the tests, we created a field with a communication interaction. But what we haven't revealed up to today is that one of the systems start gaining weight. And in past year and a half has gained nearly 500 to 600 kilogram of weight and is keep on adding to his weight, which means we have achieved creation of gravitational field forces within the structure for the first time through a very simple system. How do we know this? When we came to bring the units from the old exhibition center to the new exhibition center, the forklifts, one-ton forklifts, could not lift one of the enhancement units. So they had to bring additional different lift system to be able to lift over a ton. We can lift one of them with no problem, still at 950 kilo. It had no problem when we installed them. But now one of these two children of the man is gaining weight. And he has gained weight by 600 kilo. This is one of the reasons we brought the two systems from upper level to a level on the ground floor. Because if it carries on gaining weight, it can break the structure. Now you understand, we already are in a test system. We have created gravity. We have created systems which actually work. And this is why we are heading in the direction of the same system for the next level, for the next condition. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, because we lost the picture. I don't have a picture. It's black. And we have come to understand that we have already entered the space game. We are not claiming you can send. The weight has been weighed in China before leaving. Same system, weigh the tool, you can see the difference. And still gaining. Dr. Klaus, are you in the background? Could you promote Dr. Klaus, if he is on the line, to join us? So we are not promising what is going to happen. We have already started the space technology. we have managed to gain weight. We have managed to increase gravity. And it can be measured. If our spaceship could go 1 kilometer deep in the water, now we can go 1.5, maybe 2 kilometers deeper. This is now when we tell you, don't wait for the 6th of June. When we develop, we explain, we bring in. What you see as the twin spaceships of the Keshe Foundation already have started gaining weight. We have developed the knowledge for the interaction of the fields to create the condition of flight. And this will be part of the work which we are extending. And now when you go to the exhibition center, when you look at the twin system, ask yourself, which one of you two are getting fat? Which one of you two are gaining and not sharing? But we know, and the management of the Keshe Foundation, people who are involved in research, we already know. They tell me you cannot keep a secret. I kept the secret from man for thousands of years. Now we release, we show that what we call the secret. Then when you ask me what it is, it's the totality of the understanding of the technology. We have already brought you forward without burning the fuel. We have brought forward the knowledge of the man without wanting to be in that game and that position. This is what is on the table of the knowledge today. Your babies, you got excited about the enhancement unit. One of them is getting fat. One of them is gaining weight. One of them has gained weight and we can physically measure. So when we speak about the space technology, we have physically given you that. But the space travel through the dimension of the creator is the understanding of the work of the stars, not mechanical systems of the universal community, including man, rocket propulsion, including universal community UFOs. In the teaching of the creation of a flight as a UFO, we brought you part of the knowledge of the stars, space reactors. But when you look at the creation of the stars, anywhere in the universe, there is one single thing. Stars create their own. Rick, I've sent you a couple of pictures if you want to look at them and bring them up, please. We create that condition because we made you to understand between the two, as some of the races of the universe have become to understand how to interact the fields, but carried in an object like a soul and a man. We are teaching you to do the way the Creator does, the knowledge of creation, stars, plasmas, how they are created. In a communication last night in the interview, I was trying to explain this. When you have a mixture of the physicality of ganses, you, in trying to keep them in communication, you create a flow of fields that all contribute and connect to it, that they know what they're doing. We call it the blood of the man. And in that magnetic field flow of the blood, in getting energy, in trying to energize the physicality of the body to convert some of the energy to physical dimension, we create a heartbeat. We do the same in the condition of the plasma. But heartbeat of the plasma is different. It's created in a different way, but in a similar way where the heartbeat of the man created the motion of the heart in turning and twisting. In a plasma technology, knowledge of the creation, you create rotation. You haven't seen the sun dancing in the space. But because the heartbeat is continuous, that physical conversion of the energy of the plasma in a slowing down or interaction with each other creates the heartbeat and the rotation of the planetary system, or even the suns. Even the creation of the soul of the man. Your soul in the center of your body is not sitting there idle or bold. It's a dynamic structure. It's a sun. It rotates, and its rotation, it creates interaction with your physicality, creates emotion and the energies and the rest. So when we speak about the upcoming declaration of the Mahdi, is to understand the teaching of the man and the universal community of work of the creation and the creator, that you do not need the dimension of physicality. It's there if you want to show it. A sun is there, but when it wants to show its manifestation of what it can do, it creates a planetary system. We have stars which have no planetary system. They're shining on their own, like the soul of the man. So now you understand what it means. If you look at this picture on the right-hand side, one of these two, what I call little devils, is getting fat, but it's not showing it. It's storing energy inside. On the left-hand picture, we are proud to announce that the Keshe Foundation flag, for the first time flying across this planet, between the two flags of Iran and the state of Austria, where from now on, it will be the same way that all the offices of Keshe Foundation will bear the flag of the Keshe Foundation officially as a sign of the knowledge, sharing of the knowledge. Now we understand how we have brought you into 6th of June flight system already, because we have a system which is gaining gravity. And transport companies are there to confirm to you because how the system will move, how they move. We wait, we know it, and out of understanding how much more we will do, we have brought them to the ground floor. So, as Keshe Foundation, we have entered into the space technology creation of gravity landing. Our little babies here are producing it. Now, the system for us is to bring the next step in. Trying to create an atmospheric condition around it that allows it to go in a different direction. And this is one of the reasons we changed the reactors. We spent 1.5 years, 2 years to develop the new reactor space technology to become near enough to be able to accommodate the soul of the man if he wants to fly with the soul, the physicality of the man, and if he wants to have it in a craft. When you enter the new enhancement units which are coming from China and they fit it, gives you all three options. Because the manufacturing design and development of reactors are set to be this way. We design it, we are fueling it, and we are developing it this way. And this is what the knowledge of the space is. The way the Creator has given an option to live with your soul, or to live in a house, in a car, in the body of the man. Now we give you a scientific solution for the same thing. I am the Mahdi. In understanding and sharing the knowledge with the man, that the man understands he has access to both. And not only for the man. What we have taught about the operation of the soul and how the next steps of understanding, traveling the universe and unicos will be through the understanding of the plasma transportation and transmutation. Not in the matter state of transportation and transmutation. Then it comes a very big question to answer. When you understand with transmutation of the elements, you can make gold out of the plasma of the copper, of the GaNs of zinc. When you move into the dimension of the plasma technology where you can transmute the energy, the biggest question for man or the whole of the races on the universe comes. Does this mean if you understand and be on the verge or become mature to understand the totality, would that transmutation of the plasma of the soul of the man will transmute to become the gold in the eye of the man, which becomes the soul of the Creator? This is what we are teaching you. Transmutation of the soul of the man, as you made gold out of copper and zinc and the others, to make the soul of the Creator within the soul of the man. I am the Mahdi. And challenge me, I shall. This is where the teaching goes. This is where it has to be clear to the knowledge seekers. You seek knowledge of Maghreb, flying machine. I seek to teach you the knowledge of being able to transmute your soul to the soul of your Creator. And this is the completion of the knowledge. When a man can understand the transmutation of his soul to become to the strength and the purity of its own Creator, then mankind can say, and the rest of universal community can say, the teaching is complete. And this is the point of Mahdi or Messiah, or whatever you call it, is when we understand with our own soul the new challenge, the new opening to understand the energy of our soul, the operation of our soul to transmute ourselves to be the nearest, the purest soul, to then become the soul of the Creator. You do your best to achieve 99.99% purity in gold. How much can you purify your soul, understanding of the totality that becomes that gold, which is the soul of the Creator? And this is the purpose of 9 years of teaching as of today. But the Creator, with all he has, is still through his work and interaction of his fields, creates the universes and the galaxies and the sun and the earth. So man, with understanding this point, can create the dimension of the physicality as it needs to be manifested at a point of the time and position and space in respect to strength of the time and position. Then does the time exist unless you decide that soul manifests itself in the dimension of physicality in that position? It's very interesting when you don't understand and your knowledge is not there. Yesterday, I had to give some papers to a lady. Translation of my birth certificate for documentation for what is to come. And she read in English, 1337, because I'm born in Iran, 1337. She looked at it and she said, he's not that old. Today is 2022. And I looked and I said, my dear, I'm that old, maybe more. The knowledge is what we understand and what we comprehend. We have taught you every step. You're happy with the UFO. We made it even smaller, much cuter, much more effective. Bit of knowledge of the transportation and transmutation of the soul too. If you want a donkey, our friends go to the zoo to get on the back of a donkey and they pay for it. Go to the zoo of the man. You want the knowledge of the creation and the creator. Work with us. Work with yourself. Understand the working of it. One of the biggest problems which will come, and we have to face it, and we have developed it, and even we are changing the part of the reactors in the technology to meet this, is the interaction of the souls. Interaction of the plasmatic fields with each other. How to accommodate. In the new enhancement units, when you look at these, the systems are outside, as we said, with the new ones that are inside. With these old ones, it was very hard to create the condition of the soul and maintain it. But we can create the condition of the gravity and the fields and maintain it. In the new systems, you have an option in the control that you control it with the emotion of the man and the soul. The transportation with new systems plays totally different game. Works with the heartbeat, works with the field interaction. As I said before, when we want to go to the moon, we create the condition of the heartbeat of the moon plus its field strength. And like a lever, it just pulls us in. If you wonder why one of these reactors is setting itself down to increase gravity, is because the system was set to be balanced. Now we can create misbalance in our new system, new technologies, with application of the different structure working of the heartbeats and the fields. When we want to go in the dimension of the totality, if this is your enhancement unit, and the moon is there, and the Mars is there, and planet Zeus here. The intention of the man or the soul within the system wishes to be on the moon. And the system embedded in the direction of the moon automatically create the heartbeat of the moon, plus the field strength of interaction. Where in the amino acid of the man, we call it a carbon. There is a second passenger on board. She likes to go to Mars. We have one captain. We are here to serve. And understanding the serving is to be able to give to what is needed according to what is agreed. The interaction of the soul of the passenger in his wish and understanding of the soul of the man with the cooperation and interaction of the heartbeat of the system chooses destination Mars. Go back to the teaching of you a couple of weeks ago. I said, how do the magnetic fields divide? And what the strengths decide what is to be divided? Is it enforcement or is it accommodation? You might force yourself in, but the condition will accommodate what you can have. The new enhancement unit fly system carries what we call interaction field system. Very much like the vision system where the pilot sits in. And the emotion of the interaction of the pilot with the system connected to the body decides the wishes of the captain. The captain is chosen by his correct conduct. Cannot harm, and is there to serve. And because the soul is committed to that level, will never go wrong. This is the mechanism of working of your new enhancement flight unit. And as the system is set to work with the soul, will be there. If you decide to manifest yourself as a craft on the Mars, other systems will facilitate the physical manifestation. And if you decide to manifest yourself as a man on the Mars, the system will create the field for you to be able to walk it. And if you decide that on Mars you want to see how you look, the system will take it away and will allow you to manifest yourself in the shape of the man on Mars. Because even on Mars, you're still connected to the system which brought you in. Then don't wait for 6th of June to see the flight to the moon. Go to the exhibition center and see a system which is want to be a submarine in the world of the man. We haven't dictated to it. It's the way it dictates itself to it. We have already started the journey into space. But what do you want to see and what do you want to understand? And how much are you open to understand the totality? And to what extent are we ready to understand and adapt to the new condition, to the new understanding, to the new comprehension of the system facilitated for man to travel in any shape or in any way using one integrated system, which is an enhancement unit. You want a spaceship, sits there. You want to travel with the space of the soul of the man is there. You want to travel in the dimension of matter state is there. And this is what will come to be part of the work of the Keshe Foundation enhancement units and flight system in the coming time, in the months and years to come. For the first time, not only to the human race, but to the universal community, Whole 3 has been made manifesto. It's the time of manifestation of Mitra. You decide to be with the soul, but in the dimension of physicality of this manifestation. In totality, we have matured the man to understand the work of the creation and the creator. As a Mehdi, my job, which I accepted thousands of years ago, to mature man and the universe, not only the man. We chose the planet Earth because it's so physical that we could give an assurance to the universal community that you can become physicality if you want to, but you can be the star without physicality if you want to. The problem is how much we mature in understanding of our work and the work of the creation. And how much dogma will have in understanding the totality. Because today, sitting here, I know that I have taught enough, not only to man, but the universal community, what they were missing in their knowledge. Man in the future will come to understand. I gave you the Magraph systems for transportation, transmutation in the universe, and you went for the crumbs of how many millivolts. If mankind understands the work of the Magraph system, the true work of the Magraph system, human race has a joke, but now it's a reality. On it, beam me up, Scotty. I gave you one of the most powerful transportation systems known in the universe. We told you for a long time about the star formation. Star formation to you can be this. The star formation still works the same, but in the fourth one, and the fourth one is the soul of the man. Now you understand. Still ask for Magraph to generate 1 watt or 2 watts, and what you missed. By stacking the 3 systems on top of each other, we centralize the forces, and the soul of the man will decide in its position. If you could understand this, you saw it 3-4 years ago with John in Arizona walking amongst them. But did you go over them and did you create the right energy to elevate the soul? All we done now, you couldn't understand this, we have created you the vision unit. When the handicapped child cannot play with one toy but is needed for its elevation of physical movement, we make another toy which does the same, but you will achieve the end result. This is what the Keshe Foundation technology is. And we are battling with you as knowledge seekers because you don't understand. You could not understand, you could not see the end product. Today you see the end product. Then you understand. Anyone, any nation, any race in the universe tries to touch me, I touch their soul. The elevation of the soul will elevate into where they should be. But we still let the man to do his childish things and battle their own way to find their own way. Because when you give it to them free and not do anything for it, they have no respect for it. They become animals again in this space. The human race is not the first race which went wrong. We have corrected all. That's why we know how to handle it. And man is the last race that we have to wipe out from this structure, that the universe become a peaceful place to be. We had in the past races worse than the man, killing and destruction, not only on their planets, but in the stars and in galaxies. We tamed them. Man, it's not a difficult job to tame. But we sat to understand the evolution, how over thousands of years, millions of years, this misconduct, this misfitting comes in, and how we understand fully, and we can take care of it by understanding, by elevation of the soul of the planet in interaction with the soul of the man. They're both guilty in each other's operation, and not just one. We have to elevate the soul of the planet through all these gas systems. You don't understand what you're doing, but you're producing in energy increase. The way you put the gases on your body and you see the pain goes by production and increasing the mass production in gases, we are elevating, we're changing that pain from inside of the planet. You will understand soon how and why. And then we do the same with a man, which is the soul of the man. We always try to fix one. Now we fix both, that we don't need fixing anymore because there's no reason for it to change. Playing the game of transmutation and transportation of the fields in the dimension of the plasma is the game of the creators and the wisdom of the creator and the wise men of the universe, which are part of the structure of the creation. And how we teach the same, not to man, but to the universe. As I said before, and I repeat again, when I teach to the universal community, not to the man only. And now you understand why. Because the knowledge was one step ahead of you, just a little bit more. They moved from the rocket into dimension of fields in the matter state of the plasma. We had to educate them at the same time to be able to understand the transmutation and transportation of the fields of the universe, and not the interaction of them to create the motion and position and the speed. And now you understand. As I said again, and I repeat many times, we take man into the universal community not to be subordinate, but very equal. Now you're equal. You cannot make a servant out of yourself because your soul has been taught. Same as that. interaction of the fields, understanding of the totality of the operation of the fields is the name of the game. But when you're alive, you can't sit in one corner and do nothing till the soul opens up and whatever. We play these games of teaching. You play the game of working, you play the game of whatever. When you get fed up, you do another work. Now you have an option with the soul of the man. Now you understand. Transmutation of the soul of the man is to become gold. And that gold is the balance field of the work of the soul of the Creator. What would like your soul to be transmitted to? Or you work the dimension of the perfection. Or you still can be happy, build your UFOs and play with the magravs which don't work, and the rest of it. The game changes for the mankind, but we have changed the game today. You did not need to wait till the 22nd of February to understand the declaration. We have declared our hand today. And we like to see how much the human race will make progress to understand the transmutation of the fields of the universe and their interaction with the soul of the Creator. You made the magnetic fields of the moon and the heart of the moon to travel from Earth to moon on the 6th of June. We have taught you to find the heartbeat of the Creator and travel the fields of the universe through your soul to reach that moon, which is the soul of the Creator, and become part of it. This has been the fundamental teachings of the Keshe Foundation from the outset. The communication facilities of today has allowed us to teach all Mani Vangpo, and not some man who abused it like the Moses when it came to translating and transferring. I am the Messiah and the Mehdi, and whatever you want to call it, because I understand the work of the fields of the universe and not in the matter state. Now you understand why the teaching has been going on this way and how we have educated you to that point. The rest of it, what happened when you mix this gas with that gas, is the play, is the pleasure of understanding more about the process of creation. Nothing else, nothing more. We still make you the Magrav system, we still make you the enhancement units and the rest of it. But you have the capability and the ability on your own to reach to that point of wisdom if you don't have the technology of the enhancement units or the Magrav. It's the clarity of understanding of the interaction of the fields of the universe. And then you mature to totality, irrespective of time, position, and place. We throw the gauntlet, and the leaders of this planet work with us, we achieve. Work against us, we know how to handle. We make you to follow by your own soul. We leave your physicality to march. It's yours to stand proud and not to grow and crow. As I said before, a good friend of mine used to be an ambassador to Vatican. And he said to me, Mehran, you have to see when some of the world leaders come to see the Pope, they don't walk, they crawl like a dog on the floor to the foot of the Pope. They don't see themselves that high. With us, we all walk proud to our soul and physicality to understand the totality. We don't need to crawl to no one. We don't need to bend to no one, as we are part of the creation of the Creator. If we understand the power, the strength, and the beauty of the life of our soul than the physicality. It was good to give you a date that something might happen. That day is today. Manifestation, declaration automatic. And the Moses, return and the Christ in any name you like. The return of the soul, not the physicality. The return of the knowledge, and not what we call the possession of knowledge, but to share it in equal measure. You have all the facilities and the systems to do. And you got to understand, by declaring our position clearly, we expect habit of the man to create problem. But that's for them. We shall prevail, and our knowledge is shared. It will be shared amongst the universal community, and man better to follow fast if it does not want to be again the one which left behind because of his own lack of courage and what I call stupidity, to be always a subordinate. There's no time for kings, and there's no king but him. The true, what we call soul of creed. Understand the teachings and understand how much of it you haven't understood. I was ready to take you to the dimension of the transmutation of the soul of the man when I told you the blueprint of the Maghreb system. But you could not see, you could not understand. Maybe the picture on the screen shows you what you have missed. And there's still pieces here which we haven't put in to complete that transportation and transmutation. It's for you to do. Don't forget, the secret in this is this red spot. The law of plasma tells you the weaker gives, it takes or receives from the stronger. The soul of the man has to become so humble that all systems feed it. And with it, it feeds back to create the heartbeat of existence in the universe. If you look at the picture of the vertical enhancement unit, if you have it, Rick, can you put it up? Or if you look at the horizontal enhancement unit, we have given you this, but you don't see it. Rick, do you have a close-up of the vertical unit or the horizontal unit you can put up? I need the picture without the writing on it, if you have one. Just open it up and see if I can pick it up. There, stop. Go back. Stop there where you are. What I teach you is here. I told you this 6-7 years ago and you didn't see it. And what I taught you today is in the system built. We're not coming up with fairy tales. We show your lack of understanding. Can you show me the vertical, the horizontal units, please? When now you understand, when I tell you, you went for crumbs, and these units are there to transmute man across the universe. You're standing on it. If you look here, same. In a different shape and forms. We haven't changed anything to suit the time. We just show you how much you miss the time. Can you show the first black enhancement unit pictures if you have video? Now you understand. We haven't diverted from teaching. It's you who was too greedy and did not see. In everything we have developed, we have put in the Maghreb units. Or we have embedded within the center. The knowledge is the same. It's how you apply it for what purpose. This is the beauty when you understand the knowledge of creation. I give you the clay. Do you want a cup, a plate, or a flower vase, or a soup bowl? Essence is the same clay. The knowledge is the same. What do you want it to do? I can use the same vertical unit as you see it here and manifest the creation of the creators, what is being created in the universe. They come in between and they manifest themselves if we manage to create the right strength, field strength in our Maghreb system that creates that embodiment of the fish tank. I'm clever. I know how to hide that you can't see, but I'm not a magician. Go on the internet and tell Mehdi has declared his hand on the side and see what you get. The foolishness of the kingdom of Belgium or the true kingdom of God. And then we show. Man is equal in any race or shape or form to his own race, and it's equal to the other races in the universe. Not better or not worse. It's him who chooses the level of the knowledge. But in soul, it's all the same. Thank you very much for today's teaching. Thank you for being there to understand what is there for you to achieve for yourself and no one else. And we create the facilities to teach more that more people understand. We share knowledge of the creation and understanding of the scientific basis, not on the rhetoric and just because we say so. And the only person who can steal from you is you and nobody else. We go through the break and we come back if there's any questions regarding transmutation of the soul or the physicality or the systems we answer.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Okay, let me get back to my We'll play some videos here for their intermission. We'll be back in a few minutes and